What's going on? You guys enjoyed my last video about devil fruit weapons, my future Rell Seas update theories video so much that we are back to make a brand new one. I went around all of YouTube and found everyone's suggestions for what they would like to see in Rell Seas and in just One Piece games in general. So in this video, I'm going to be covering 15 things we would love to see in Rell Seas to make Rell Seas the greatest One Piece game ever created. As we get into the video, I just want to say thank you guys. We are almost at 500 subs, so I'm going to continue to drop amazing content that you guys love to watch. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss a video. Outside of that, let's get into the vid. Starting with number 1, it's weapons infused with devil fruits. Yes, this was in my last video, but we have to say it again. Being able to put a devil fruit into your weapon or having your weapon consume a devil fruit would blow my mind. No One Piece game has ever done it. What this would allow people to do is, honestly, if you're not a devil fruit user but you want the powers of a devil fruit, you could put this devil fruit into your weapon. Now, in order to not make this overpowered, a lot of you have suggested that we actually remove the weapon's original abilities and then add devil fruit abilities on top of that. So why would you want this? Say you're a non-devil fruit user, you want to go all hockey, but you're fighting against someone who's a real pain. Someone who definitely has Whitebeard's devil fruit or maybe even Kaido's devil fruit. But luckily for you, you infuse your devil fruit with the Magu Magu no Mi, or the Light fruit, or the Magma fruit, or the Ice fruit. And so now you can go toe to toe using Haki and the powers of a devil fruit within your weapon. This weapon would allow you to hit Logia users, and it would keep you from having to give up your ability to swim. And just to say it again, fighting against a marksman who has the Light fruit infused into his sniper sounds like complete overkill. But if you want to check out more on this theory, go ahead and check out my other video. For now, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is actually really interesting, and that's in-game roles for your character based on their bounty or position. Say you're one of the top 4 pirates in the entire game, all 4 of you upon entering the game will receive the title of Yonko. What this would mean is that other players around the map would have to either fear you or fight you in order to get your title from you. So essentially every single server will have 4 Yonkos, 3 admirals, 1 fleet admiral, and then whoever is the top strongest in the server obviously is the king of the world. And for those of you not caught up on One Piece, I'm not going to spoil anything, don't worry. But for those of you that do watch One Piece, you know who sits on the throne. Number 3 is asked by so many people and so many One Piece games, not just Roblox, and I think it's something that a lot of developers have failed at, and that is a variety of common and uncommon devil fruits to balance out the world and make it more diverse. There's nothing worse than having half the server have mythical Zoans, Logias, and the other half has, I don't know, Suke, or the Bari Bari no Mi, which is the barrier fruit, and we know what GPO looked like when these fruits came out. Number 4 is also interesting, but it's an NPC that collects the devil fruits from around the map when nobody finds them, then reselling them to you for high-end prices. Now, me personally, I do not want this. I would rather a devil fruit either A, just not respawn at all until somebody finds it, because I feel like the gimmick of a devil fruit disappearing goes against the actual rules of One Piece. And no, while we don't want one person hoarding all of the devil fruits, at the same time, I highly doubt Rell Seas will put a devil fruit notifier in the game, meaning that leaving devil fruits out is a part of the exploration. And for some reason, every single game gets rid of devil fruits after about an hour or 2, which makes no sense because is your game not about exploration? Is that not what being on the seas is about? The 5th thing that people have asked for is the ability to make your own black blades. As we know, people like Mihawk have been able to turn their blades into black blades, apparently by pouring Haki into it over a long period of time. Now, of course, you wouldn't be able to do this right off the bat as a swordsman, but you can guess that by using one sword for a long period of time, it can rival any other sword, and once you make it a black blade, there truly is no reason to get another one. In the world of One Piece, while some swords dominate others, it's also true that by turning one into a black blade increases the mastery that you have over that weapon, therefore making it the biggest threat against anyone. Now, obviously, you're not going to turn a butter knife into a black blade, but if you do, that would be pretty terrifying. Number 6 is actually one of my favorites, and it's the ability to use different kinds of Haki to affect stronger players based on their strength. So, as we all know, you need Haki in order to be able to touch Logias or in order order to do more damage in general. But one thing that I love, the idea of not being able to attack someone unless you have a certain kind of hockey or hockey level. Why is this important? Well, hockey ranges from weak to stronger versions of hockey, obviously. But just like in the anime, no one could just come up and fight Kaido just because you had hockey. You couldn't just go up to an admiral simply because you had hockey. Sure, you could touch them, but they're so much stronger than you that it still wouldn't even really hurt them. So what this would mean is that as you strengthen your hockey, or as you add different kinds of hockey, like you might need Conqueror's hockey or the color of the Supreme King in order to actually hurt somebody who's level 100 if you're level 60. It's basically just saying that your hockey is not strong enough to touch somebody who has been grinding and leveling up so much to the point to where you're kind of just insignificant even with hockey. You need to strengthen it more in order to actually affect them. Number 7 is people want an actual bounty hunter role that actually affects the game. This bounty hunter role would hunt you down across the entire sea, and either A, they could kill you, take your bounty for themselves, and give you to the government, or give you to a pirate who wants to execute you, which actually would be a really cool mechanic, because then once you're turned into the world government, you're kind of screwed. You have no bounty and you're stuck in Impel Down, or whatever the prison is named in Rell Seas. And it would be nice to see a bounty hunter role actually have some perks along with it. Like, oh, if you're a bounty hunter, you should be able to track people on a map, or whatever the case may be. There should be some kind of gimmick or effect that you get for having this role. Similar, if you were a Marine, you're able to handcuff people and put them in prison, or if you're a pirate, you're able to do different things that other roles aren't. Number 8 is we want actual enemies that use hockey. In a lot of One Piece games, especially on Roblox, NPCs just kind of happen to be able to hit you, and you kind of just have to assume that they have hockey, versus knowing that when you go to a certain island, it would be nice to know that, oh, no, these NPCs are turning on their hockey to come and hit me. Or if it's blox fruits, they also just kind of have black arms. You know, you're like, oh, these are obviously people that have hockey. So it would be nice to know that these enemies are using hockey on us, and it shows. It's just a little attention to detail. Number 9 is a variety of races. Guys, the One Piece world is full of so many different people and beings. There's buccaneers, there's Lunarians, there is regular humans, there's fishmen, mermen, there's long-legged men, which is just humans with long arms. There's celestial dragons, and even Blackbeard is his own individual race that we're still figuring out in the show to this day. Kind of a spoiler, not really. So yeah, it would be nice to know what are the actual races that we could choose from, because there's also androids or robots or biohumans. There's so many different things that you can become in the One Piece world that would change your build entirely, which would also affect your size in terms of height. It would finally be nice to see a One Piece game choose an Oni race similar to Kaido, because I would love to be an Oni in the game, because that would change your durability and it would change your affinity for hockey, which would be insane to already start with a nice amount of hockey. Number 10 is one of the most requested things that haven't been done right in any Roblox or One Piece game in general, and that is Logia Awakenings. In fact, we actually haven't even seen too many in One Piece. It is assumed that Enel's Logia Awakening is him when he turns into that big blue lightning creature. That's assumed to be his awakening, but also we know that the awakenings themselves might just be changing the terrain. So it would be really cool to see Rell Seas approach Logia Awakenings in their own way, because honestly, we haven't even seen Logia Awakenings in the One Piece world. And sure, if we have, it could be Punk Hazard, where the actual terrain changed for years when Akainu and Kuzan fought, but at the same time, I'd actually like to see a true awakening from a Logia. Number 11 is Sea Prism weapons. Sea Prism Stone is the one thing outside of the sea that really truly negatively affects Devil Fruit users. Now, a lot of people have said their Sea Prism weapons will be able to affect Devil Fruit users, especially for those who just start the game and they don't have any hockey. Now, while Sea Stone Prism would cost more than regular weapons, it would be nice to give some people the upper hand in terms of fighting a Logia user when you're a new player. That could be swords, it could be bullets in your gun, it could be literally anything, or gauntlets with Sea Prism Stone on them, which would actually be really funny. Number 12, we would like to see crew roles that affect gameplay. Now, this one has to be one of the most unique, because what that would mean is if you take the cook role, just because you're not a captain doesn't mean that you don't affect the crew in an amazing way. The cook on your crew could actually give your crew a buff based on if you say eat some food before a raid, or if you eat food before you go out into the world, or food that lets you breathe underwater longer, or different things like that. There's so many effects, buffs that you could put on onto your crew simply by being the cook. Similar if you have somebody on your crew who is a musician. By playing music, the musician could actually boost your crew's strength or maybe even sailing speed. Who knows? Or increase your cannon strength when you're shooting at another ship. The possibilities are endless. Number 13 is different forms of sea transportation. We already know Kuzan was caught riding a bike over the sea. Or if we take Draco Mihawk, he has this really cool coffin boat. We would love to see different forms of ships or different ways to just get around in general. 14 is penalty for attacking lower level players over and over again. We all know what it's like to be a new player and to be weaker than everyone else or to get jumped by a crew. I've been in some games that are MMOs on Roblox and oh my god, the amount of crews that have jumped me, I try to fight back, you try to fight one person, 3 more come over. It would be nice for there to be penalties to them doing so. Like maybe they lose some of their bounty or maybe you just start off with a shield where you can't get hit for the first part of the game while you level up. But nobody wants to be attacked over and over and over and over and over. And last but not least, the one thing that I would love to have in this game is an in-game party system for raids and boss fights. I can't tell you how annoying or inconvenient it is to have to go back into Discord, ask somebody, say, hey, can I join your group for this raid, for this boss fight? And they're like, oh, you don't have this Logia? Yeah, no, we're trying to grind on this. That was the majority of my experience on GPO until I myself got the Light Fruit or the Pika Pika no Mi. Then people were like, oh yeah, you're great, yeah, come up here, stand on this cliff, use this same move until you melt the boss's health. While that is fun, or was fun, sometimes I would have loved to just be able to stand in a circle and then be automatically added or put together with other players who just don't really have a crew or have a lot of friends online at the moment. I do play a lot of games by myself or solo or maybe just with one other person, and it would be nice to be able to find another team member or other teammates without having to have a meta fruit. It makes the game not fun for people who honestly didn't want devil fruits or who don't want to just abuse the meta simply to gain loot. So that is 15 things that we want to see in Rell Seas. Obviously, all of these things might not be added now, they might be added later or never at all, but this is a list of things that I found that people have really been asking for from One Piece games, One Piece Roblox games, and honestly, I think this is a pretty solid list and not too crazy of an ask. At the same time, I'm not a developer, so I don't know what it takes to put all this together, but I will be making my own game in the future. But until then, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know down below what you would like to see in Rell Seas or in future One Piece games coming up on Roblox. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.